That's where we want to go, and this is the way. What's up everybody, welcome back to the Taste of Outdoors. Today me and my brother Mazhar are going to go camp overnight at one of the most beautiful waterfalls in northern Georgia. We're going to be hiking through some dense forest with some interesting hardwood trees. Check out the 40-foot Ravencliff waterfalls, which was absolutely incredible. Camp at the base of the waterfalls, make some absolutely delicious campfire meals, and have a great time. So follow us along. Let's go. It's been raining for the past 4 days and we're expecting a huge storm tonight. But rain or shine, we're gonna go camp. Alright, so we're at the Cliff Raven Falls in North Georgia. Okay, so this is my brother's first backpacking trip. I'm very excited, and how do you feel?
Ready to go.
Ready to go? All right, we got our emergency ponchos on because it's going to rain all day, all night, but it is going to be a fun one. Let's go. That's the Dodd Creek. All right, so me and my brother just started our 3.5 mile hike. It's going to take us about, in this rain, maybe about 4 hours, maybe. This might not be the best time of the year to camp or hike, but the falls are going to be at its peak. So there's a trade-off. If you don't mind getting wet and sleeping in the rain, then this might be the best time of the year to camp out. Look at that, people are already camping there. That's the Dodd Creek that follows all the way to the Raven Falls. We've got like a set trail, which is not bad, but since it's been raining for the past week, it's really slippery. We've got to be careful of where we step foot. So this is the Dodd Creek that feeds the Ravencliff waterfalls. The water level is abnormally high because of the heavy rains. All the paths are kind of flooded. I guess we're getting wet already. Oh, you're going there? Yeah, that was a better idea.
It's just going to be a little bit harder climbing up that mud.
Already wet?
Yeah.
Ooh, these rocks are super slippery. Not wet so far. You're soaked? I made it dry. Oh, this is not bad.
Survive.
So this is just going to be a fun hike for us. We're going to walk, chill. It's not a tremendously exhausting hike. The weather's great. It's not hot. There you go, another campsite right there. So there's multiple campsites all along this trail. I think there's like 10 to 12. Since the Ravencliff waterfall allows dispersed camping, we have planned to camp on the top of the waterfall. If it's not too slippery and not too dangerous, we'll climb up there and we'll see how it goes. The trail is pretty flat most of the way, but there's still like all these roots that make it a little bit rugged. Because of the canopy, I think we're getting sheltered from the rain.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. That's great. Hey, did you guys go all the way to the falls?
There's like a couple, there's like a little small one right here, and then there's like 2 other good ones down there.
How far do you think is it from here?
It's a good ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Okay. That doesn't sound as bad as I thought. We'll see. Look at that. Now again, since it's raining, there's multiple places that turn into a waterfall. Maybe like a lower falls or something. Very pretty. You can see that all the way. It's bigger than it looks in the camera. Let's see if we can get a better view.
You can just slide down that tree.
Look at all that water, man. So if you guys have been following me, you've seen that I go places where there's barely any water to camp. But this place has plenty of water, and that takes a big load off my shoulders, because today, between me and Mazhar, my bag weighs about like 20 pounds. So it's like a breeze. Are you done peeing?
I saw mushrooms on a tree.
So I took a mushroom class recently from one of the renowned mushroom instructors. I'll put his website in the description below, but that's one of the mushrooms that I have no idea about. Even if they were edible, they're too rotten. Look at that spider web. We've been seeing this all along the trail.
Very creepy.
Very creepy. Ooh.
I got wet.
You did?
Yeah.
Worst thing about this hike, my hair. The things we do for adventures.
Yeah. But it's always fun.
It is. I think the weather adds a different layer of adventure to the adventure. We should take a bet who's gonna be the first one to fall. I might be wet, but I'm not slipping.
So I've been trying to look for trees that are native to this place. I've been seeing a lot of oaks, like red oak, white oak. This is a sourwood. It's a type of hardwood you find in northern Georgia. I thought I saw black gum as well. I think this here is black gum. I'm not really sure about the uses of those plants. Yeah, there's a lot of hardwood in this forest here. Yeah, let's check out the creek. Woo, it's chilly. It's chilly, isn't it?
Feels good, makes me want to jump in.
Yeah, we might take a shower once we get to the main waterfall. These up here are eastern hemlock trees. Those are being attacked by the hemlock woolly. I believe it's some sort of a bug or something that's killing those eastern hemlock trees. Similar to Japanese spruce beetle that's decimated the northern forests. Alright, gotta be careful walking back up. Hello. Hey. Even though it's probably in the low 70s, we are both soaked in sweat, mainly because of our poncho. Yeah. Oh.
Second obstacle cleared.
I've been seeing some really cool rocks right next to the creek. I'll show it to you once I get closer to them. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
The entire trail follows a Dodd Creek, which was named by one of the early European settlers. Let me show you a few rocks that I found. Yeah, you see this rock here? It's called a schist or a gneiss rock. These are like ancient metamorphosized rocks. Pretty cool, huh?
Over here,
You see,
there's a lot more.
I don't know if you guys can see the shine, but this is a great example that Muzzer found. Look at that shine. Isn't it cool? And there's a lot of quartzite, which is a very hard rock. The Ravencliff Waterfall is made about 80% out of quartzite. So that's going to be really interesting to check out. Oh, this feels shady. So this being one of the most popular waterfall hikes in Georgia, it's a Saturday morning and there's a lot of people. That is very pretty. Alright, while Muzzer takes a break, I'm gonna quickly check out this waterfall. These are one of the most pristine and the cleanest waterfalls. You could probably just drink the water right out of that waterfall. Beautiful. You see this rock with the light and dark shade in it? This type of rock is called a gneiss rock, and you usually found it near stream crossings. The light and dark shade in the rock are all minerals. Very interesting. And you see that rock right there? That's called a schist rock. If you look close, you'll see shiny glitters in there. Those are particles of mica that are present in this rock. When you put them in sunlight, they all glitter. That's why it's said that the best time to come near these falls is during midday, when the sun is directly hitting these rocks and everything glitters. All right, time to head back up. That was amazing. Yeah. Not that bad. Oh, look at that down tree. That's a huge down tree. Look at that root ball. Whoa! That's a huge waterfall. At least 20 feet. That's like straight down. Look at that. That is a very nice spot to camp. This right here is a maple tree. They're abundant here. There's so many maple trees. Georgia is like the Canada of North America. So Georgia is steeped in history, and especially north of Georgia. In ancient times, this was Cherokee territory, and they used to live here. This place was inhabited by all the Cherokee nations. But during the early 1830s, there was a gold rush, and that brought in all the European settlers and the gold expedition people. And during the late 1830s, the US Army started moving out the Cherokee people from this territory on what's called the Trail of Tears. There's a whole history behind the Trail of Tears. If you're interested, look it up. It's really interesting. But even to this day, this entire place, especially the waterfalls, is a very sacred place for the Cherokee Nation. So if you guys are ever trying to come out here, hike and camp, make sure to be respectful to their land and to the waterfall. So we've been hiking for about, how long now?
Hour 10 minutes.
Hour 10 minutes and
Almost 2 miles.
1.8 miles, hour 10 minutes. Not bad because we've been stopping a lot, looking at the waterfalls. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Very muddy.
Yeah, the weather's been great.
I'm just hallucinating.
This place is very beautiful. Look at this.
So peaceful.
Yeah. A lot of the brush on the ground is covered by these ferns. They're all over the place and they're pretty. Hemlock trees. All of these are hemlocks, eastern hemlocks. We're trying to find a nice spot to sit, take a quick snack and water break. The Dodd Creek supposedly has brook trout in it, so I didn't bring any fishing gear. If I see any fish in here, next time I'm gonna get my line and tackle. Might catch a fish, do a catch and cook video here. Feel the rain picking up.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah. These are some massive trees. Wonder how old they are. You hear it? You hear the falls? It's a 40-foot drop on the Ravencliff waterfalls, and we can hear it. There's so many of these old shady walking bridges. Those look sketch. Oh, I see it. Let me get closer, I'll show you guys too. Alright, so we have finally reached the Ravencliff waterfalls. This is one of Georgia's most beautiful and hiked spots for waterfalls. It is a 40-foot drop made of about 80% quartzite stone. All the way from up top to the plunge pool, everything is quartzite. And on the sides, there's softer rocks like shites and gneiss that I showed you earlier. But let's take a closer look. That's the closest I can get without getting wet. I think the 40-foot drop is all the way up there, and after that it cascades down. I was expecting a lot more water from what I've read because it's been raining for the past week, but it's still very pretty. Our plan is to hike all the way up to the waterfall and camp there, but we're gonna have to inspect the site first. Let's not take the rock, let's take this. Yeah. So this hill is covered with quartzite rock, which is a very hard rock, and when it's wet it is extremely slippery. If you see any rock when you're hiking here, try to avoid it if it's wet, or even if it's not wet, avoid it. Like this, all of this is quartzite. Don't step on it. Oh, there you go, Panzer. That's the drop there. That's a straight vertical cliff face. It drops from all the way up there, 40 foot, then it cascades all the way down. So the Dodd Creek flows from all the way up there, then it trickles through all this rock, filters down, and then cascades down all the way. I think this is a perfect spot for a quick water break. Like I was talking earlier, all of this rock around the waterfalls is made out of quartzite, so it is a very erosion resistant rock. And over millions and millions of years of this water flowing, it carved itself a path in that rock. I was reading about this falls, and the water is receding 1 inch per century because of the softer rock all the way up top. So we're now trying to go all the way up to that cliff. Now, people have been saying that it is very difficult to get to the final step. We're gonna go check it out, but if it's dangerous, we're not gonna attempt it. But we have to see it first. Okay. Please make sure you guys know what you're doing when you're climbing steep cliffs. I always say, if you guys are unsure about something, it is best not to do it. You'll see that gap? That's where the steep drop is. It's not always about if you can get up, but you also have to think about how you're gonna get down once you're up there. There you go. That's the steep drop. All the way from up there to down here is 40 foot. That down right there is a plunge pool. Look at that steep cliff. That's where we want to go. And this is the way. Okay. You good?
Yeah.
So that's the challenging part right here. That looks really steep. All right, let me put the camera down and see if I can get up there. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Not gonna go up the waterfall. It is extremely slippery. It's not worth the risk. Look at that. That's like a perfect swimming pool. There's a lot of Cherokee legends tied to this waterfall. Some say that the Cherokee Indian was in trouble and a raven guided him through to this waterfall where he turned to stone to avoid being detected by his enemies. There's another called the Lover's Leap, where an Indian woman and an European settler fell in love, but they had to jump off the cliff to give their life. There's another one called the Moonshiner's Legend, and of course the infamous Gold Rush. People say that there's a lot of gold hidden among these rocks. Also, the name Ravencliff most probably was given by the European settlers. There's a Cherokee legend that says ravens used to nest among these cliffs. That's why the name Ravencliff, but who knows? The Cherokee people, or most of the ancient tribes that used to live around this area, considered waterfalls and rushing streams a very sacred place. And they also considered ravens as spirit guides for their ancestors. This entire place is very interesting and full of history. Whoa. That was close. All right, we're finally down that steep cliff. Now we're gonna hike back to that campsite. Yeah. Whoa. You good? We'll just take like a few. Look really cool. All right, I think this is our campsite. A nice fire ring set up, which is perfect. I mean, everything's wet, but I think we won't find a better campsite than this. We've got our water source right back there, so plenty of water. Let's set up camp. All right. All right, let me show you our campsite. Our beautiful tent for two, or our bedroom. That's our kitchen. We might be able to light fire, or we might not be able to. That's our backyard. All of this, and this is our creek. All to ourselves. The challenge is going to be to light a fire. Yeah, everything is soaked and damp here. We're trying to find down dead wood that's fairly dry. So far we found one or two. The first thing we need is a dry surface. This is pretty dry. There's already charcoal here, so this has a higher chance to catching fire than these damp kindling. Make a little awning here. The trick is going to be to use as much as kindling as possible, like a lot of kindling. We came a little bit prepared. I've got this Duraflame fire starter. Let's see if that works. Put it in there. I also got some cotton balls dipped in Vaseline. This is my favorite fire starter. Okay, you got it, you got it. It is very slow. It's so damp that it's not catching flame. What I'm trying to do here is, once the tinder starts catching fire, I'm stacking up slightly larger pieces so that they start drying up from the heat and they're gonna catch fire. And as the fire keeps getting bigger, I'm gonna start stacking up thicker wood. All right, we finally got the fire going, but we forgot to defrost our meal. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. See, I'm just gonna set them by the fire to see if they can defrost. All right, until we wait for these logs to turn to charcoal, I'm gonna make some campfire bread. All I have in here is all-purpose flour, salt, sugar. I'm gonna add a packet of yeast. Now put a little bit of water at a time and start kneading it until it forms a nice dough.
I've been working a little wood skewer for our cubed lamb. All I did was basically just whittle the stick to a nice fine point. That's one down, another one or two more to go.
I did not pack my adrak license. It's all right. I've got our lamb cubes defrosted, some olive oil, and some salt and black pepper. That's it. So as you all know, I made this camping griddle a while ago. It's super simple to make. I'll put the link in the description below, but I've modified a little bit. The airlines kept breaking up my dowels. So I've put some nuts and bolts with some washers in it, and this thing is super sturdy, very solid right now. If you guys want to give this a try, check out my video in the description below. Just gonna let this sit there and cool off, and then we should have fresh drinking water.
Like all that charcoal.
We've got one New York steak and one ribeye steak. Whoa, whoa. Look at that. Wish we would have. Tell me you guys are not hungry looking at that steak. I know you guys are. What do you have there, Mazur?
Lamb skewers ready to go.
We're gonna eat good. That was close. That's called a proper sizzler. All right, our dough is ready. All right, we're ready to eat. We've got two beautiful looking steaks. Got this amazing warm campfire bread. Just look at that. And we've got a lot of lamb cubes, tons of them. All right, let's dig in, bro. Yeah, a steak knife. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect medium rare.
What a beauty. Pretty solid bread, crunchy on the outside, nice, soft and chewy on the inside. Wow, this bread is really good. I'm gonna try dipping some of my bread in this steak juice.
Pro move.
Big piece. Look at that fat cap on there.
Really good. Look at that steak.
A whole nother steak here too. A lot of work getting all that firewood to get that fire going. I'm still satisfied with this.
Man, that was so good. We're so full that we can't stand straight.
I'm gonna sleep well tonight.
There's quite a bit of leftovers, but that's breakfast. I've got some crushed up chocolate wafers. Good. Thing's gonna get really hot. It's copper. Follow it up with some nice saffron chai. I drink almost everything in my pure copper cup. It adds a lot of minerals to the water, so it's good for you. And it's ultralight. Really good. Hey, Ben! Hey, Ben! Yeah? That's our campsite right there. It's gonna get really dark tonight because there's no moon and it's super cloudy. That's how we like it, dark. We're in the tent, nice and cozy. It's starting to get a little chilly, for me at least. I don't know about him, man. This guy dry ages at home.
I brought shorts. I gotta switch into shorts.
We're just gonna sit here, talk a little bit, and go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night.
They're a little deeper since it's high tide.
All right. Good morning. We survived the night.
Yeah.
How was your first night in the forest?
Interesting. You know, that first hour felt like heaven, laying down after all that hard work we did.
We still got like a couple hours of sleep.
It was definitely an experience.
As always, I like to pack up my stuff before breakfast. I tried to look for some hot spots, but I think the rain last night put everything off. But luckily we put some tinder under our tent. It's pretty dry.
How far back?
We got our steak. We've got some lamb kidneys and lamb hearts, and we're also gonna eat some leftover steaks from last night. All right, time for breakfast. We've got lamb kidneys, lamb heart, perfect campfire bread. Oh, it's hot. Eggs, leftover New York steak, and leftover lamb cubes. All right, let's dig in, bro. Oh, wow. Look at that. Lamb kidneys. Wow. Look at this. Perfect every time. Some egg, some bread. All right. All right, done with breakfast. Now time for some chai. Pro. Too full. I love doing this. We took a quick 5-minute break to stack some rock. Here. Made it!
Didn't get wet this time.
All right, we made it back. How was your first experience?
Really fun. A little bit taxing, but nothing we can't handle.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
100%.
There you go. There you go. So if there's anybody watching this who's never done this before but wants to experience it, if you know me personally, send me a text. But if not, DM me on Instagram at Taste of Outdoors and we'll make something happen. But that's it for this video, guys. We both enjoyed it a lot and I hope you guys liked it too. Make sure you guys like, share and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.